Dim dim dim. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Next stream, next day, next quick sketch, as I always say. Which means I'll pull up my random number generator. Then we can go right into the action. I have my random number generator already open, so let's see what we'll get. 29. Okay. Let's see. Let's pull it up real quick. Oh, I gotta open my countdown as well. While that's loading, there it is. There it is. Resources 29. Wall tiles. Oh, sounds very, very exciting. Let's see. Oh, actually, wall tiles could be pretty cool. I forgot how they looked. No, I think I remember. Let's see. Let's pull them into this scene. Let's delete this and then import. Is it an OBJ? Yep. Okay. Import. Hope everybody had a good Tuesday. Oh, I mean Wednesday. Sorry. The days just, I don't know, last week and this week kind of felt quite slow for me, which is not bad, because I always think if the time like feels like it's like taking a long time to go over, it's mostly because you remember just so much from the previous days, which is I think a good thing, because then either something noteworthy happened, which is I mean, it could be something like negative, but most of the time it's more like a positive thing. Let's go in here and grab my 3D scan of my wall tiles. Let's see how they look. This one. Ooh, okay, interesting music. I changed the music station for today. I switched to, wait, let me see, which one is it? It's the chill piano. So let's see what that gives us. I don't know how many tracks are on this list. We might change if we like hear that it's pretty repetitive, but I think there are a few in there, so we shouldn't really notice anything. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay. Some nice wall tiles. And also some smaller ones. Are they like three-dimensional or just planes? Nope, they're just planes. Okay. Alright, are they actually? Yep, okay. Okay, I mean they definitely have an interesting design, nice patterns, but we could probably even use these patterns. I think I'm gonna use them. So let's see if everything is set up and then we can start. Cycles, yep, looks pretty good. Put up my timer and then we can start. Of course, the first 30 minutes are gonna be my 30-minute quick sketch for anybody not knowing or asking what's going on right now. I always give myself a 3D scan. Give myself 30 minutes to create something with that 3D scan. And then I have a thumbnail for tomorrow for the YouTube stream. So, and maybe even a like a speed art I upload on YouTube. I did that, or I prepared one today that I probably upload later today. So I think I'm ready, which means let's start my timer. Right there. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, nice. 30 minutes. Let's see. Are these planes as well? Okay, they're even tiled. Do I need them? I don't... Or do I want them? I will use... Do they have bump maps? Let's see. Oh, they actually do. That's nice. One of the few that actually have a bump map. If that's actually like a bump map, let's see. If we remove that... Okay, nothing happens. Well, maybe it's not a bump map. Doesn't matter though. I think I'm gonna use the small ones. Which means I'll go in here and make a... I use this one, for example. Go in here and make a... I'll put this one in the center. Oh, it's already centered, which is weird. Let's put that to the middle. Just so we have... So we have the axis in the middle, like the anchor point. Why is it rotated and it's not stating that it's rotated? I think... Well, let's just rotate it. Okay. Let's use this one first. Let's see, what do we have here? A nice burst, okay. We could use a... What's the other side? Oh, it's... Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's use an array modifier. Let's put that back just a little bit, like maybe like 3. And then use an array modifier. We can add an empty. Oh, let me just start my recording. So if this actually looks good in the end, I have something to post. Let's say object offset, select the empty in epic music for this epic quick sketch. Let's apply the rotation so it's the same. It's rotated the same way. And now we can let's see, we have to put this to 0 like that. This one, I think this has to be... Okay, now it should work. Aha. Okay. So, let's see what we can do with this. We could... go in here. Make this, like... Go to here. I don't know. Let's see what happens if I increase the number. Okay. So if I rotate this back. 0. Oh, wait. Okay. So we want to have more, definitely. Let's put some more in here. Just filling up this circle. Maybe like... Oh, too much. Like... Oh no, there's one spot left. Let's see if we can fix that by rotating some more. I don't think so. I think we need just a few more. Or do we... Nope, it's fixed. Nice, okay. Okay, let's see. What can we do with this? We could go in here, make another empty. Put this one higher. Go in here. Make another array. And make this a object offset. Wait, what happens if I pull this one up? Oh. Okay. Let's reset that. I want to see what happens if I use the object offset on this one. And I move this one around. Let's add some more. Okay. I'm just testing some stuff right now. I don't really know what I'm doing. Just hoping to get something out of this. Let's see. Maybe like this. What happens if I rotate it on the y-axis? Okay. We could go for some like abstract art. If we go like this and then add some more in here. Ooh, okay. Just some like super surreal art. So if you go in here, for example, make this, remove this. We could leave the light on. Or actually we can remove it. We can use an HDRI. Go into the shader editor. Where's my stuff? I don't have any. Oh, okay, now I do. Let's grab a quick HDRI. Right there. Which one? This one's I think the easiest to use because it's such a nice lighting situation. So now let's rotate that just by maybe 90 degrees on the Z-axis. Okay. This looks pretty good. So now let's look at this bird right there. We can go in here. Let's say, let's give this some more thickness. There it is again. Thickness is coming back. So let's solidify that. Give it some more. Okay. Offset that to the inside. Why not? Doesn't really change much, but it helps. We changed the background back to a solid color. Put that in here. Input, light path. Separate the camera view from the lighting by using a mix shader. Combine those two and say camera ray as a mask. So now we have just a plain background. Okay. Now let's see if we can change the colors. What colors do we have here? Go in here and look a little bit deeper. Let's see. Let's change the color. Easiest way to do that is just use a color ramp. Now it's just black and white. We can... Ooh. Let's see. Oh, I mean, we could make a... Let's see, can we remove these leaves? I don't think so. That looks pretty cool. If we remove these details, to just have the smiling bird fully black. Let's see, we could maybe go in here, grab this, and then I'm gonna use one of my favorite tricks. I'm just gonna pull up one of my reference images, which would be, for example, inspirations. Let's pull this one, grab that, and now if we say color mix RGB, let's say this is blue first, just to see which one is which. We say this is the mask, and we put that in there. Okay, blue is the inside of the bird, which means we put that in there. And now we can change this. Let's scale that up. Make that bigger. Oh, that's too small. Okay, maybe like this. Move it around to get a better... Ooh, okay. I don't know where I am, but that doesn't matter. I'm just looking for a nice like texture on there. Now let's see if we can change the outside. We could... Oh, I have a nice idea. Let's remove that. Oh yeah, that'll look cool. Let's put that to something really dark. Like that. And then we use the same color ramp. Put a reroute in here, just so it's sorted. Put that in there, and then in the roughness setting. So now everything that's this magenta color or purple is gonna be really rough, like velvet, if you call it that. And what I want to do is change the roughness of the shiny bits just a little bit to make it a little bit less reflective. I don't want to see the background in them. Like that, maybe. Okay. We probably don't even... Oh, maybe I'm gonna make a macro shot, which will probably look pretty boring, but if we make a macro shot, I have more time to focus on the image itself. I don't have to pay attention so much on the layout and all that. So if I use that, maybe let's switch that. Scaling by -1 on the x-axis mirrors it, and then I think we have to flip the normals. Okay, let's move that somehow. Also, the anchor point is in the middle again, so we move that back. Maybe make it bigger. Okay. Like that. And then let's grab another window so we can see our camera view. Go in here. Let's go into rendered view. Go back to solid view. Now we can position the camera. We can also, to make it easier, say, okay, the camera should track this plane by looking at it, Now if we move it, it always stays on the plane. So now we can go really deep. Maybe make it like a, let's see, camera 120. Make it really like flat. Okay, I think that's enough. Can I just apply that now and it stays that way? I don't think so. Can I apply that? Nope, I can't. Okay. Well, let's just rotate. Actually, let's put the camera on the other side. Right there. Rotate some more. Rotate on the Z-axis. Pull that up. A little bit more. Okay. I'm gonna work with a lot of depth of field. Okay. Now we'll go in here, go to the world, say background should be... Let's work with a gradient. Let's deactivate all the overlays so we can just purely see the image. Let's go in here, say viewport power 2 full. And now let's go in here and adjust the camera view just a little bit. Like that. Okay, now let's go in here. World. No, object. I want to maybe go and switch this to experimental. We're getting experimental now, which gives us the ability to enable subdivision with adaptive subdivision. And if we put that to simple, now what that does is it gives it more geometry, this plane, the closer the view of the camera is. Which means if we now use a... How much time do we have? 15 minutes. Okay, displacement, put that in there. Like that. Also use this one right there. Pull that up. Which one was which? Okay, Okay, that's good. Remove that. Put that in there. Oh. And now, if we put that in there. Oh. Wait, where's my... we can use this as a bump map. So if you put that in the normal. Nope, not in the normal, in the height section. Let's see if we can... Object space, that looks pretty good. Mid-level. You can't really see it right now. Oh, I know why. Of course, I don't know why you always have to activate this. Why can they not just activate displacement for every... Oh! Yeah, for every object. Mid-level is 0. And then scale that down. Give it just a little bit more depth. Not that much. Also maybe increase the... Oh, dicing scale can stay. If we put that down, we get more geometry. If I understand that correctly. Scale that up. Let's see. I think you do. Maybe if you leave that at 0.1. And then we change the scale to maybe 0.01. We just want just a little bit of this this height difference. We could maybe even reduce the range. Oh wait, I gotta switch that. Oh, no I don't. Let's put this in this direction. Some more. Okay, that should be good. Now, let's go in here. Specularity can stay like that. We work with depth of field. 12 minutes left, 12 and a half. I don't know. The first 50 minutes like go... Like, I'm rushing through them, and then the last 50 minutes are quite chill actually. Because I think most of the time I don't really have a real plan what I'm doing. Now we can say this empty is our focus object, which means where this one, where the empty is where the focus lies. If we put that to face, rotate, scale and all that, it stays on the plane. Maybe not. I think project individual elements. Now it stays on the plane. So if you put that somewhere, let's see, just somewhere in the middle, should be good. And then we go in here and change the... I mean, f-stop to 1.5, making it really crazy. Maybe 1. Okay. And then maybe going in here. Can we do another one? We have 11 minutes left. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, did I delete all the other planes? Well, that's not good. Let's see. Can we open that real quick? Or actually, I'm just gonna use this one again. We use this one again. Maybe rotate it like that. Oh. Let's see if we can get the face in there. There it is. Okay. Maybe we can change the color of this one. Okay. I mean, whatever. I don't know. It's more of an abstract sketch. We can separate these two. Say this one's gonna be a different color, maybe a purple. Or maybe a blue. Or... Yeah, I think it's gonna stay in a similar color range. Maybe more in the red region, like that. And then maybe even change the color to white. Oh, that's blue, not white. Of course, we need to... that looks... no, I think I'm gonna keep it at black. We can change the background to black as well. I think we don't see the purple anymore, so why keep the purple in there? We go in here, change the color to black. Nice. And now let's see if we can maybe switch some settings in here just to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe go in here, make this... oh. Oh, and I like these reflections in there. Not the... I mean the structure. That's what I mean. Does this actually do something? I think so. Okay, maybe we can change the background. The lighting. Just so we can get some different colors in there. Maybe if we just change it to black and white. Converter. Oh, okay. If we bump up the light bars. Okay. Like that. We could maybe use a... Where is it? Spotlight. Grab that. Can you constrain that? You can. Nice. Put the target to the empty on the Z-axis, negative. Use that. Make the power higher, maybe to a 100. Let's see how that looks. Doesn't really change anything. 500. Ooh, okay, maybe some more, 1000. Change the radius to make it quite small. Put the power, can stay, wait. Okay. Now we can move that thing around and change the size. Make it more pointed at a certain spot. Blend that. Let's see if it's not blended. What if we put that closer? Okay, maybe we can actually make this a little bit darker. Just to give it some structure in there. Like that, maybe. We can always just change the colors in the post-production again. But if you have a good base, you don't need to change that much. You can also go in here, color management, put that to medium high contrast. Just change it just a little bit. And then we can change the size of this cone. Oh, okay. Now let's see. What if we just remove this bump map? That doesn't look as cool as this one. So we'll keep it. Strength. Let's see what happens if we put that to 2. Oh, let's put that to 10. Okay, no, that's too much. I think 2 would be probably too much, actually. Let's just keep it at 1. Or even 0.5. I think 1 gives better results. Okay. What if we change the color of this? I think white should be good. Okay. If you don't know what you want to do with the object you got, just make a macro shot and it always will look cool just because of the depth of field. Make a new, let's save it real quick. Eight, 9. Okay. Let's see. Can we add some more? What could we add? We could maybe go in here and say that there's gonna be a light on his eye. I don't know, maybe it'll look good. Oh, let's make the radius smaller. Like that. Oh, that gives just a small highlight in his eye. Or her eye. I don't want to judge. Like that. Okay. You know, just sometimes just adding random stuff that you think might actually look good. Looks actually good in the end. So just keep experimenting and maybe you'll find something cool. Okay. We could maybe move that around just a little bit. Okay. That's good. Now we have a small highlight. It's like off. Well, let's see what if we put that on the same spot. Oh, that looks cool. Just because the focus is on the light already. So if we change all the other stuff, and put that on that spot as well, looks even better. Now we say, wait, the focus is already the empty, so we can keep that how it is. Maybe even change the depth of field even more. Let's see what 0.5. I think that's too much, so we'll keep it at 1. Wait, where's the light coming from? Let's see. I think we still have this. Okay, let's see if we put that. We could change the color. We have 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes left. Maybe some nice blue to contrast the purple. No, that's not as bright. Maybe like that. Maybe just a little bit more. And then... okay, I don't want to change the colors too much. We can still go in here into the object and say the roughness will go into the... actually, I can just use this and copy that and put this one in the specularity. So now we can say the purple stuff. Ooh. Will not change its color as much. Like that. Okay. It's a very abstract image, but I don't dislike it. Maybe we could put this one higher, or actually keep it there and just add a second light in the background. Can you see it? Okay, you can. But you can't in the render. Oh no, I screwed up my camera. Okay, 1 minute left. We can add one more thing. Or should we actually? No. We could maybe add a light down here. Just a point light. That'll be stronger, maybe 100. Make that a nice orange. Oh, to give it a nice transition. Make that higher. Like that. Now change position. Okay. That looks pretty cool. And 19 seconds. Oh. 13 seconds. And that's it. That's the finished image. Let's close this down. And let's go over to post-production. Let's see, go to Compositor. Let's render this image first, save it, and then change the render settings so everything is nice and fast. Put that on. Render resolution 50%, and that should be everything except I need the denoising passes and I need... What do I need? Of course, I need the EXR export. EXR, and that's it. Let's save and then render our raw image. Pre-post-processing. Can you see it? Wait, let me pull it up real quick. Image editor, you should see it now. Still loading, so you can't see anything. This one's quite big as it seems, like the last one. I don't know why these ones take so long to load. Maybe the textures are actually pretty big, which is why it just takes so long to pull them up or load them into the program to render. And now it's starting. I saw like a similar wallpaper in a museum before, where you had like this 3D effect of one layer was really shiny and one layer was quite like rough and like fabric like, or velvet I think it's called, and this gave it just like this wait, where's the light? My light is gone. Why is my light gone? Did I just move it? Oh my god. Okay, well well, that's too bad. I just ripped off my light and put it somewhere else. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, it just created this nice pattern just by using different surfaces, which was pretty cool. And then if you look from the right angle, you can see it pretty well by using the reflection. Save that and then go over to the compositor. We can make this bigger to see more. Like that. First thing, of course, filter, nope. Denoise, put that in there. Use the denoising albedo, denoising normal. Now it's denoised. Looks kind of rough down there, but I think that's acceptable. Should be too apparent. Let's see. I don't think we need to use a glare filter, but we can see what happens. We put that to fog glow maybe. Put that to 0.1. I just want to see if anything happens. Oh, actually we just get a little bit of glow. So let's put that to maybe 0.2. Okay, that removes it. So let's put it to 0.1. Okay. Now let's add excuse me. Let's add some more. Let's see, for some color maybe. RGB curves to change the values just a little bit. Make the darks darker. Actually, we can keep the darks pretty dark. Only make the highlights brighter. Like that. The image is quite dark in itself, so we don't need to increase the dark spots. Okay, now let's see for some more filters. Of course, we gotta use our lens distortion. Let's see if that... Let's let it work its magic. That to 0.1. Maybe even less. I think less should be good. Just a small amount. Just give it this effect on the edges. I think that's enough. We could Oh, actually we don't... Did we enable the mist pass? Where's the mist pass? No, we did not. So if you render this again and remove all this, save it, render it again. I can show you what the mist pass is in a second. Oh, okay, this is gonna take a while again, but whatever. My day was quite boring so far. At work I had like almost nothing to do, which means I actually worked on my stream assets. I worked on some alerts, because I don't like the alerts I have right now, just these standard alerts. So I will make my own probably this weekend, and then I can fully focus on the content I put out. Right, the last weekend and this one as well, I focus on my stream look, basically, or my overall look, what I did last weekend, and then on like next week I can actually focus on just creating content, which means videos and images and all that, putting those out there. Because if you like, you can't really, or I at least can't focus on creating stream assets and then also making videos, because there's not enough time in the day to do that. So I put my priority in the improvement, like graphical improvement of my stream. Now I can see show you what the mist pass is. Okay, the mist is too short, which means you can't see it. Okay, well, that was a waste of time. But I think we can actually, maybe we can change some more color settings. Maybe we can even bump up the blacks a bit. Oh. Okay, let's put in a maybe we can bump up the saturation, let's see. Okay, that looks good. We get this nice red down there, and then this nice magenta or like pink in there, or purple. So now if we go in here and give it some more contrast, maybe see what happens if I put in 1. That's too much. Maybe if you put in 0.5 should be enough. Okay, I think that's done. A pretty simple shot, but still I think looks pretty cool. Of course, kind of annoying that I grabbed my old. Wait, that I grabbed my old like the light I had in his eye, in his or her eye, in its eye. I'm sorry. And put it somewhere else. I wanted to duplicate it, but I think I just moved it. So let's save that and render the final image, and then we can move over to the actual project that I might actually finish today. You want to see the previous quick sketches I did? I think I did 9 now in total. You can see them on Instagram and on Facebook as well. Ominous music while this is rendering. Let's see, maybe we'll change the type of music we're listening to. Let's see, what else do we have here? EDM, chill EDM, let's see. I think EDM is too crazy or too intense for this type of stream. I rather would like to chill and just create some artworks than putting in a intense sculpting session. Let's see, what else do we have here? Indie jazz. Jazz? Let's see. Is that the place with only one? Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
Give them a satisfaction they couldn't get any other way.
Okay, well, that's, you know, I don't know if that's like actually part of jazz, but I'll just keep it on. I think this one has like just only like 5 songs, but let's just hear them and then maybe we'll switch again. Let's save that, put that in as a PNG. I don't need an EXR. Save that, and let's switch over to the real project. Close that and open recent, or actually save it just to be sure, and then character 2. There you can see it, and this is the sketch I'm recreating. So yesterday I did the face. So today I'm gonna do the hair and the water and all the other stuff I want to add. Let me grab my graphic tablet. Okay, actually let's skip this song. I don't know, sounds kind of weird. Okay, I just see that we're already back at the first song, so let's switch to something else. Elevator music. I mean, if we have enough songs, it tells me that it has 489 songs, but if I enable only YouTube save songs and what else was it? No, instrumental only, you get like 3, but you can't see them because it doesn't tell you how much you have left when you activate all these filters. Keep that on, and let's get going. Let's see, do I want to actually change something in the sculpt? Maybe we could give her some more details in the lips, for example. And then we can go over to the rest of her. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that first, and then we'll go over to the hair. So we go in here. Give her some more subdivision. One more. Five is quite high. Okay. Now we can go to sculpting and work on some details. I want to make this one more realistic than the last one. The last one I did was last week, which was quite like comic-like or stylized, if you want to call it that, because I focused more on getting it done and making it a quick project than putting in some time to actually, for example, give the hair some more detail. And wait, let me switch my settings to a dynamic radius. So the hair from the last character was quite like clay, almost like a solid object rather than like hair, just because I rushed through it as fast as possible. So this time I'm going to use a different method of creating hair, which involves curves and using curves for hair, which should look way better. and it'll probably take more time, but if I'm gonna need another session tomorrow, then so be it. I want to make this one look better than the last one. And this will probably actually be a good timing, because next week I can work on a new project, which will probably be a bit longer. And I'll show you what it is when we get there. Let's keep our attention here first and finish this one. There are two characters I want to decide between. Wait, how do you hide them again? Like that, and then hide mask. Now we just see the lower lip and can work on that. Oh. So yep, I already have a project for next week, maybe even the week after, like still working on the same project, because that one's probably going to take longer because I want to put more time in. But I want to still like do different stuff in a week, which means I'm not going to work on the same character the whole week through. I'm still going to make a tutorial on Monday, a beginner tutorial. And then also, maybe I'll do something else as well, or I just work on the character for 3 days next week, maybe even 4, I don't know, we'll see. I'm debating whether I should stream tomorrow when I finished my stream alerts. I don't know how long that's gonna take, so I might consider that. Now we go in here, make some smaller details. Lips always have these weird wrinkles at the bottom. They're so small and tiny. Of course, it looks kind of weird now because it's like symmetrical, and nothing in the real world is really symmetrical. So it looks weird right now, but we're gonna change that later. Put some of those wrinkles in here, make some finer details, and then go over here and do the same, just giving some more detail. You can see if I zoom in, you can see what I'm working on from further back. It's always good to have a second view. If you're, for example, working as a digital painter, it's always nice to sometimes just pull back and look at it from afar. Or also what you can do is, a really good trick is mirroring the image. This will give you a whole nother perspective and will show you probably a few things you want to adjust or change. Stuff like asymmetry that you've not seen before, just because you get used to the image from the perspective you saw before, which means if you then put it and mirror it, you have a whole nother perspective how you look at it, and it'll show you a few new things, or you just look different at it, and it'll show you a few mistakes you probably want to correct, which is really handy. You can also just pause for an hour or so or more, and then come back later, and you'll probably see some more stuff you want to adjust. That's always what happens with my projects. I just finish it, and then the next day I go in and I see, oh dude, I want to change this and I want to change that, and I'm always struggling whether or not I should actually change all that stuff, or whether or not I should just continue, because there's so small mistakes that probably only I see, that they don't really matter that much, but they matter to me, so most of the time I change them. Get some higher wrinkles in here. Also some deeper ones. Make some like that. I think you can actually see the lips, but well, when I'm doing my details, then I'm gonna do the lips as well. It's always nice to have some training in every part of the face if you actually do a project. I wouldn't only work on the eyes, because of course you're still gonna see the lips through the water, actually, at least in my version. In this one you can't see it. But when I'm gonna work on it, I'm definitely gonna make sure that you can just see just a little bit of her body down in the water as well. I'm gonna make a small crease in the middle here. Make it really deep. Okay. That should be enough for the lower lip. We can move over to the top lip. Okay, invert that. Hide mask. And let's work on that. Oh. Oh, are we already back at the first song? Are you serious? Oh, no, we're not. Okay, well, I think that was just a song that was in a different playlist as well. Okay, let's put in this weird thing. I think a lot of lips have this twofold, like, wrinkle in here, in the middle. Kind of weird. I think that's because of all the movement, the specific movements your lips do. For example, by doing like an O face, you get this big crease in the bottom lip, and also probably these two right here. Just from different expressions and talking and all that. Okay, looks kind of weird right now, but I think if I add these really small wrinkles and folds at the top where the lips meet the regular skin, you'll see it look good. Okay. Usually the wrinkles don't overlap. I have to keep that in mind. I mean, there are these vertical wrinkles, and then there are some horizontal ones as well, which I'm gonna add. But usually the either horizontal or vertical don't really like cross each other, if I remember correctly. Let me pull up my reference and see if that's actually true. I don't want to talk like say something wrong. Let's see. Yeah, I think I mean, at least they don't like form an X. Okay, let's keep going. Like just small wrinkles down here. The closer you get to the corner of the lips, the smaller the wrinkles get. Put some randomness in here, don't all make them fully like straight. Looks kind of like veins, so don't overdo it. Now if we add these horizontal and also these tiny, these tiny wrinkles in here, you can see the transition is way better. I mean, we could actually add some pores to her, but I might actually do that using just masks if I do it. I've never tried it before. I have a theory how it might work or how it could work, but but I've never done it before, so I also don't know how long that would take, so I'm still debating whether I should do it or not. Just adding these small details. Good thing is, these small details aren't the most important thing, of course. If you make a, for example, if you make a likeness sculpt and don't add any pores or wrinkles, you can still recognize the person. So don't think the details are super important. They're more like a cherry on top to make it just look more, just a little bit more realistic. Now that we have some more structure in here, we can go ahead and make these vertical lines. Like that. Add some more. Add some random lines in here. Lips are quite wrinkly and rough in terms of their surface, so we can add some nice lines in here. Don't really have to care about like placing them in a specific order or spot or direction. Just put them in here. Like that, that should be enough. Maybe we can make some of them bigger. Okay, that should be good for the lips. Let's put these horizontal lines in the bottom lip as well, so we hide that again. Go in here. Give them the horizontal treatment, I mean. Make them smaller first and then add some bigger ones later. Kind of lagging because we have so much geometry in here, but it's not too bad. We can still work with it. If I would apply the modifier, the multi-resolution modifier, it would probably be faster, but I'm gonna keep it like just as a modifier for now. Okay, that's good. That should be enough. Maybe make some of them bigger. Add some dips in here. Just some more roughness. Of course, they're underwater, so they wouldn't be as wrinkly and dry. But now it's too late. We can't change it anymore. Okay, we could obviously, but I'll keep it. Okay, now let's add some wrinkles around the eyes, just small ones to give them some more character. Oh. Like that. I don't want to spend too much time on the model anymore, because I've done so much already. Yesterday, main parts are done, so we can almost go over to the next part. And these wrinkles will probably not even be seen, so we could detail these hairs some more and then we can go over to the next step. Just make them more more detailed, will make them look better. And if it's like one of the few things that's actually gonna be above water, Might actually be a good idea to give them some more detail. Like that, make them quite rough, not as clean cut. Not perfectly straight, give them some hairs that are like off the main shape. Make them more natural. Almost done with the eyebrows, and then I think I'm gonna destroy the symmetry, which means finalizing the character, because changing stuff after destroying the symmetry is really annoying. So I either actually now like remove the symmetry, or I'll keep it for now and then do it in the end. Keeping everything symmetrical looks weird to the eye, because as I said before, nothing is really symmetrical. Okay. That should be good. Going in here. Just giving her some more detail. Okay, that should be enough. Let's go over to the hair. Layout, save that. Let me drink something real quick. I think we're already back at our first song. Yep, I think we have like 2 songs. Well, let's just get back to our usual... where is it? Lo-fi. That should have enough songs. Okay. Have this book under my microphone, just to elevate it just a little bit, but it has like these sharp corners, which is kind of annoying sometimes, because I like scratch myself on that, and then it's annoying. Okay, now let's go over to the hair. I'm gonna enable or unhide the plane, make this one a little bit higher, like that. And then let's work on the hair. The hair is gonna be like floating in the water, which means we have to activate the plane to see where the water level actually is. And now we can start making our curves. So what we can do is go in here, say curve, path, make it smaller, and then let's see what direction is it facing. Okay, we rotate it by 90 degrees. Now we can put that back here, and now if we activate, what is the setting called? Snapping, put that to face and individual elements, we can now select this small point right there and put it on the actual skull. Now it's right on there, on the surface, which is really handy. Now we can just move the curve around so we can have a nice... Actually, I think for this one we don't even need snapping, only for the first one. You can see how the curve is running with this with these arrows. And if we don't have enough, we can just add some more. Let's see. The first layer will be pretty close to the skull. Okay. Like make that underwater. The main part will be underwater, so we can just let that sink in and then... Okay. Now we will make the strain, which means we need another curve. Put that to the side. Okay, and then if we select this curve, go in here and say geometry, taper object, we select the curve. No, wait, we need to bevel. We need that as our bevel object. Remove the taper object. You can see it has the same shape as this circle. So now if we go in here, change the circle shape to something more flat. These ones can be, scale them on the y-axis. Does not work, of course. Like that here as well. These are gonna cover the... This is probably gonna this is gonna be the first layer of the hair. Put that down here. Maybe make those just a little bit longer, like that. And now we can use those. Obviously too big. We can see, we can go in here. Make those smaller. And now we can also just use this one, say only this point will be smaller. And we have our hair like start, the root. Now we can form this curve. We can also twist it so it changes its rotation. And now we can just work this and put it on the skull. Let's see. Rotate it just a little bit, maybe make it even flatter, because this is pretty flat on the skull itself. So we can move this closer. Maybe even make it, let's see, we can move this to here and now make it less wide. And now let's work with this. Okay. This looks pretty good. We will make this. We will close this. Or almost close it. Don't have to close it fully. I think we can fill the caps, which means we close these openings by going in here. Fill caps, and now they're closed. Now we can put this actually into the skull, so it looks like it's actually growing out of it. We have to pay attention to the hairline, so we're not staying too high. We can add just a little bit more. Her hairline is quite low, I mean high, or no, low. So we can probably go to like here. Put that in. Oh, it's twisting by itself. That's not how this is supposed to work. Let's put this back. Okay. Okay. Go in here, see if the rotation still looks right. Okay, now it looks good. We can keep some rotation, just because it's like how hair looks naturally. Okay, that looks good. So we add another one. We can just duplicate it. Use that. Maybe put it a little bit higher just to make it like unsymmetrical. First I'm gonna see that I'm gonna cover the whole skull, and then I'm gonna pay attention to the actual structure and details, which means covering the whole skull first, and then changing, like putting in smaller hairs or hair strands that'll add some more structure in there and will make it look more interesting. Maybe give her some interesting curves in here. Oh. Welcome back, Athronzala. Resolution material. Do you mean for textures or do you mean for renders? For textures, if they're like not as prominent, you can get away with like a probably like 2K should be enough, especially if it's just like, for example, some wood on a table, or yeah, I mean if you're not getting too close, 2K should be enough. If you're like doing a macro shot or really want to go for extreme realism, then you can use 4K. For HDRIs, if you use those for lighting, you can, I mean, almost always use 2K, except for when you want to keep the background like visible. So when I make my textures on my characters, I go for higher resolutions, but only on the bump map, because that's gonna define the pores and all that super small detail, which means it needs to be quite a high resolution. I think you can go to up to like 8K with that, just so you have enough pixels to cover all these small details. Okay, let's make this lower, like that. Move it to the side. I'm gonna change the rotation last, just because the position of the individual elements change the position as well. So if I change the rotation first, I might have to like, and then I do the individual points, might be like doing double the work necessary, just because first I rotate it, then the points rotated again just by moving them. By doing it after moving the points, I don't need to do it twice. You can also look into UDIMs. Those are basically textures made up of like multiple textures, which what means it's basically a grid of textures, or like one big texture made up of smaller grids, and for every grid you can determine how big the resolution should be. So if you, for example, make a character and you need a lot of resolution in the face, you can make the grid with all the face UVs pretty big, and then make a second grid piece, and for example for the hand or the body where there isn't as much detail, you can set that to 2K, for example. Okay. Good thing is now if you just go in here, I'm just gonna do it like as an example, but if we go in here and then say, okay, we want to have more hair structure in here, we can just say, okay, we choose these ones and say, let's use our search option. I have it on spacebar and say subdivide. We can add some more curves, and then if we just add some more, maybe like this, we can use these ones, put them lower. Just make this like whatever shape you want. And then you have your, as you can see, you just get a little bit more, like they're not as straight anymore, and they actually look more like hair. But I'm gonna revert all the changes, because first of all, the hair from sketch looks quite smooth, as every like wet hair is basically. And also I'm gonna add some smaller strands, which is gonna basically have the same effect, or a similar effect. We can also make these have a different size. Okay. Add another one. Okay, this is probably gonna take quite a while, making this hair, but I really didn't like the first hair I did for these quicker projects, so I'm gonna pay more attention to it this time. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do these outside hairs first, just so I have an idea where I'm like going for, where these middle hairs have to like end up at, or the hairline in the middle. So I'll duplicate this and put that over here. We don't need these probably, and let's go in here. Okay, maybe rotate this one to the outside. I think we can just scale it down so it's smaller, so we can actually like shaped around the ear, like that. Move it to the side. Okay. Okay. Now let's do this swirl at the bottom. Well, if you're going for, well, it depends what, if you use, for example, if you have like a forest scene and you have like the camera pans over the ground and you see all the leaves, then the leaves should be probably like 4 or 3K. But then if you also have like some trees and you see some tree barks in the background, they shouldn't be like this high quality. So you can just test out how long it's gonna take. Of course, you can always go for the highest textures, but at some point it's not really it's not really useful to use like so high quality textures if you're just gonna see them in the background. So using smaller textures might be just better in terms of performance and render time. Okay. Make them a little bit more floaty in the water. Maybe make these ones. Actually, I want to make it like, I think they can stay quite short. Maybe just a little bit longer. So shoulder, like as if they like reach to the shoulder, should be pretty good. Okay, I think I'll leave the other ones. Yeah, so if you're not focusing on a texture, the only thing you're like changing is the render time. If you, for example, especially introduce depth of field and everything in the background is blurry, you're not gonna see the insanely high, like high detail, like high resolution textures. So you can get away with smaller ones. Okay. Maybe we go in here, make this higher, so we can outline the shape some more and then fill in the gaps. Twist this around. Okay. Yeah, I mean, for example, if you have like a chair in your architectural like ArcVis scene, and you're just panning through the room and you see it like, you might actually go like zoom in on the chair and make some macro shots. Then you would use like a 4K texture. But if you, for example, make a test render and don't really see a difference between a maybe even 1K and 4K or something in between, you can just use the lower resolution texture. You're probably gonna be the only one that's gonna know that the quality is like less. Make this nice swirl in there, just make them more interesting by giving them these interesting shapes. Even bigger maybe, like that. Okay. Good thing is, actually no, I was debating whether I should use symmetry to fill in this side as well, but I think I'm not going to do that, because I think I have to create, like, convert these curves into geometry, which will make them like editable or not as easily editable, which can be quite annoying if there's something I want to change later. Are you working on a architectural project right now? Is that why you're asking? The first project I actually finished was a kitchen. So I designed. And I wanted to recreate it as my first project because there were just like these round stools and big like furniture that was all like kind of blocky, so it was pretty easy to recreate. Yeah, I mean, you can test it out. If you have both textures, you can render one with the so you, for example, you can just pull in both textures into the same material, and then you can connect one of them to the color node, for example, or to all the nodes you use the texture on, and then render it once, and then you switch to the 1K texture and see if there's any difference. If not, then you can save yourself some render time. You could probably also, especially in the beginning, if you're not already doing that, put your sampling to something really low, like 32 or even less, and your resolution, I have mine as standard on 1920. I put that to 50%, and then just to get a feel of the final render. When I make a test render, I can see how it looks, the general vibe, and then when everything's like done and I want to do the final one, I probably bump this render tab up to 128 or I think 250. I'll just double this, so it's like 256. And also you should always activate adaptive sampling. This will just determine where there's going to be a lot of noise, and it's going to focus more on that noise spot, and it's going to denoise that some more than other spots. Are you more into ArcViz, or is that just a project you found interesting? Because as I said, I started with like a kitchen as well, but then at some point I decided I'm gonna move more into like organic stuff. Both is definitely interesting, especially if you really go deep in ArcViz. You can put so much detail in a scene, make it look so nice, that it's really, like, you can sink so much time into it. Go in here, make this maybe also like a swirl down here. If you leave your HDRI like visible for the camera, you can, I mean, it's almost the same effect. If you see the HDRI, you can make use like a 4K HDRI, but if you just use it for lighting, just use like 2 or even 1K. It's not gonna make a big difference. Lighting comes from like all directions, so you can't see like every single detail of a house that's shining on your architecture. If you, for example, let's just use a HDRI in here. Oh, let's save first, just to be sure. Okay. Now if we, for example, go in here and go into world, I like already have this set up, so I just have to plug in my HDRI. You can go in here, use an HDRI. One of my favorite ones is this one. You can't see it because it's not plugged in. Just because the lighting is pretty even, and it just gives you some nice solid lighting without any sharp edges. For example, if I use a different one, like, where is it, this one? It's way brighter and gives it more of a yellow color, which might change the effect or the overall feeling of the image. And then what you can do, let's switch back to the other one, or maybe this one's my favorite, just because the colors are pretty cool. And now if we go in here and say, if you ever want to do that, you can go in here and add another background, and then add a mix shader, so you can combine them. And then if you use a input light path node, it has a is camera ray light path setting, which means if you look, like, one of these two is going to be used for the camera view and one of them is going to be used for the lighting. So if I plug that in, the background is going to be solid. So if you want to like have a certain lighting setting but you want to have a different background, that's how you can do that. So now I could change that to blue, and it's not going to affect the lighting. I use that quite often because most of the time I don't want to have my HDRI be seen for like characters or something. For my kitchen, I actually just pulled up a picture of a nice background and put that in the windows, so you see the picture instead of the actual HDRI, which actually worked quite well. Okay. think tomorrow I'm gonna make a small tutorial because I have like discovered a small like trick or like a cool feature or technique I just randomly discovered, which looks pretty cool. I mean, you can ask how much you want. I'm just working on this, and if you have any questions, just hit me. Then you don't have to look through thousands of Blender or like tutorial pages or forums to find it, which is probably going to be more annoying for you than just asking me. Of course, as always, if you want to show me your finished product, I'm always happy to give you critique if you want. I'm not like pro in architectural stuff, but maybe I can give you some tips. You have to keep in mind that these hairs have the first layer of hair has to be quite close to the skin, because there's gonna be probably like 1 or 2 more layers. So let's keep that in mind. Rotate that like that, okay. Have you seen the tutorials from Blender Guru about ArcViz? He just recently made a like a cabin in the woods, and then he also made some tutorials about interior design, where he made I think it was a kitchen as well, and something else. He also has his own texture company or website where he's selling high quality seamless textures. And I think if you sign in, you get some for free. And I think a few of them are fabrics as well. You can also get like carpets and like everything you need. But there are also like free websites. If you just Google, for example, something Haven, I think there is what is it? 3D Model Haven, there's Texture Haven, and there's HDRI Haven, which has a pretty big collection of high quality HDRIs, 3D models, and textures as well, all for free, which is what I use quite a lot, especially for my HDRIs. All the ones I have are from there, and I also made a like small artwork just using a single 3D asset from them. Okay. Let's remove some of these vertices. Yep. HGR Haven. Or Heaven, or however you want pronounce it. Okay, almost first half done. Just a few more and then we can go over to the other side. I just used the image for like the background. It didn't really affect the lighting. I just put up a plane, like a poster in the window. I think I have it still on my PC so I can show you what I mean. Let's save that, pull that up. Projects should be the first one. Or, oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Pictures. So, that's the model. Just the plain view. And there's the window. So what I did was just like put a picture in there. And I think I didn't even use it in HDRI. I just used a sunlight because I didn't know what HDRIs were back then. And here you can see, I think I just used 2K textures, maybe 4K, but I think they're 2K. For these chairs I haven't used any. I would for these ones probably just use make my own using like procedural textures. I could probably even open up the project. Let's save that one more time and then go in here. This one. I think that's from 2 years ago. Wait, which one do you see? Okay, you see the other one. Okay, let's close this. Do you see it now? Oh, you do. Okay. Let's make that, fit that to the screen. Okay. Now, if you, wait. Okay, I think I separated all these things just to see, to show them separately, but I should have my scene somewhere. Okay. Where's all that stuff? Oh, there it is. Wait, why is the, okay, I'm gonna open another. Let's see, what else do we have here? This one maybe? Nope, that's just the oven. Let's see, some of them. One of them has to be the right one. Oh, nope, this one's not the right one. Let's see. Okay, that's the drawer. That's the chair. That's still the chair. Wait, do I not have my finished project? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's fit that to the screen again, and then I can show you what I did. So, what I just did was this. So that's just a plane. Okay, you can't even see the image because I don't have it anymore, I think. Yeah, I just had like a let me just pull something up and then put that in there. What is this window? Go to shader and then Cape Town 9, not available anymore. Do we have any images? Let's just use an HDRI. Will probably look weird, but okay, well, this one looks better. But so now you can see that's just an image. I didn't use it for lighting. I just used a. Do I still have my lighting in here? Sun. That's my sun lamp. I just decided where the light should come from, and to match like basically the lighting in the picture. I don't even think I have the picture anymore. I don't even know where I saved all that. But yep. So I just used an image. And if you want to like make this unaffected by any lighting, so if you for example just use this as a plane, I made it like a diffuse. Used a diffuse shader. But if you want to make this actually like unaffected by HDRIs, let's let that load. Hopefully it's not crashing. Okay, nothing loads. Well, that's interesting. So usually if you just keep it on diffuse, for example, or you have the standard shader principled BSDF, it's like gonna reflect the lighting. So you can either put the specularity down to 0, or, which is probably going to be easier, just use an emission. If you leave it at 1, it's not going to change the color, but it's still going to keep like the full color range you had before, and it's going to change its look, whether or not you use an HDRI or not. Yep. Also, a quick tip, if you do stuff like rooms, you can for example go into top view, so numpad 7, or I think there's also viewpoint top, and then you can work like from a top view first, and then say let's make that's a small room, and then you go in here and you make the silhouette or the top view first, and once that's done, for example, you go in here, add a hallway like that, make this bigger, for example, like that. Now you have your top view, and you can just select all the edges. Maybe not this one. Okay, that's gonna be like a balcony. And you have your walls. This way it's easier to get the first shape right, rather than working with, for example, you could also add a cube right away, and then go in here, scale that up, scale it on the z-axis as well, and then say, okay, I'm gonna make a wall in this direction, so I'm gonna need a cut right there, and I have to extrude this, making a plane first and shaping that how you want it the room to look like is just way easier. And if you're, for example, working with Eevee, where light can easily bleed through these thin walls, you can just use a solidify modifier, and that's just gonna make your walls thicker if you don't see them from the outside, or if you don't have like an outside shot. That's an easy way to fix any Eevee lighting. There it is, character. Oh, sorry. My hair's getting too long. There's no barber open, and I don't want to cut my hair myself, so I'm just letting it grow. Good thing is, like, I have this like the direction of my hair is like to the side, so it's not gonna lie in my face. But still annoying. If I can like gift you time by giving you my knowledge, then it makes me happy. So you don't have to look it up yourself or learn it by just doing it. So you can get faster into the actual stuff you want to do. Or like get deeper into it. Okay. Okay, we're almost done with the first half. Looks quite good, definitely better than the sculpted hair. Keep in mind that these hairs have to lie on top of each other, so they can't just float in midair. Okay. We could probably add a few more in here just to fill these gaps. Also give it some more random structure. Wait, where's my... There it is. I was kind of surprised that my first render actually went pretty well, or my first architectural render. I think the furniture in the actual in the reference image were quite like easy, so it went pretty well. Especially like I think the hardest one was the chair, but that wasn't that hard as well, so I picked quite an easy first image to recreate. Okay, almost done with the first layer. Only need the other side. And then we can move to the smaller hairs, which are really gonna spice things up just because we're gonna add some more character and some more structure and detail. I think the hardest furniture to make are these drawers and all that, like these old drawers with like these complex shapes on them and these ornaments and all that. That's the hard part. So what I did was pretty easy. Let's see if I can pull up some of that stuff. But I mean, old drawer. Let's see. Stuff like that. Go into here. This stuff. These ornaments and these small shapes and all these, like, including like flower like shapes and organic stuff into like these drawers is so I think it's still like I couldn't do that because I haven't really I wouldn't even know how to start. I would probably just sculpt this stuff and then retopologize it by like afterwards figuring out how to move the faces and all that. For these profiles, I can give you a tip. If you see these ones, these steps basically, you can go and, for example, if you go in here and make a plane, you can rotate that by 90 degrees. Move that to the side. And now you can, if you select all the vertices, there's a merging option, which is merge by distance, which, no, wait, that's, if you press Shift X or not, wait, which one is it? Merge, oh, Alt N, okay, well, let's see. Collapse. Okay, now everything is on the same spot. Now what you can do is go probably, for example, into front view. And if you have these steps in there, you can just make this. Then you go make these steps first, for example, like this. And then afterwards, like that. And then you can go in here, for example, in here, and say you use the bevel tool. Press V for vertice beveling. Add some more. And then if you press P, you can change the profile. Make these, whatever you want to call them, these inverted or indents. Then you can go in here, make the opposite, or even this, like that. And you can also do it the other way around, so you can get these profiles really easily. And then what you can do is select everything, press extrude, and you get this. Now what you can do is there's this neat tool called shearing tool. If you use that, and then I think you select this one, you can shear it by 45. If you type in 45, wait, 1, yeah, you press 1, and then if you use the extrude tool again, you get a nice corner. That could be like a drawer. And you just have to make the profile, and this just makes these details very easy. If you can see them properly from the perspective the image was taken from. Okay. Onto the base layer. Just add some more on the right side. I think that's going to be the last one. Then we'll move to the other side. So we're probably not going to finish this today. But we will probably finish the hair today. Yeah, that's one trick I learned from Blender Guru, or Andrew. That's such an easy way of creating these details in the drawers. And just so fast. And it's just like one of these tricks that you think, dude, how can I not think of that? Because it looks so simple. Okay. One more, and then we have our first layer. We could probably even move this to the side. Fill this gap. Okay. That's good. Let's see if we can now. I want to try something. Now, if we go in here, can we mirror this? We can. We select the... Okay. We probably don't need to do that with this one, so if we use this one, for example... I mean, if you can save some time, why not? So we can just link these two. Does that work? Link the modifier? Nice. Oh, Problem is that's gonna make it symmetrical, which will look weird. I'll keep it for now. And then maybe it'll solve itself by adding these tiny hairs or smaller hairs. I think I know of 3 or 4 different techniques of creating hair, which all have their own like benefits and deficits, positives and negatives. Okay. Let's see if we copy all those now. Say this one we want to link to. And now we have our first hair layer. Let's see if that gets close to the original. Why do I not see anything? Is there no light? Why is there no light? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So now let's add some smaller hair. Break up the symmetry. That looks way better than the last one. Let's save that. Let's add some smaller hair. Also give him a different shape. can duplicate one of them. This one. And we can go over here and change the shape, duplicate that to get a second one. Make these ones maybe a little bit more roundish. But still, we could maybe even make them like concave. Still, we want to keep them around the midpoint. Otherwise the curve is going to be like off center, or the geometry is going to be off center of the curve. Go in here, change the object to this. Oh wait, what happened there? What is this? Okay. Let's fix that real quick, and then we can go and put in the second layer. If you use the, for example, if you want to make everything flat, you can either select everything and scale it by 0. For example, if you put it on median and say scale on Z 0, everything will be flat. But if there is something like way up here, it's gonna use the midpoint as the even point. So if you scale it by 0 now on the z-axis, it's gonna be higher. So what I like to do is select one of the vertices that are on the height I want them to be. Say switch the anchor point to the 3D cursor, which is this circle, and then select everything and scale it on the z-axis by 0, and everything is going to be on the same, on the desired heights. Okay. Okay, make this maybe even a little bit thinner. So I'm probably gonna make, with hair it's always good to make 3 layers. One of them, like always when you start a project, first you're gonna put in the main shapes using these big and broad hair tubes, I would call them for now. Then you make a second layer with smaller ones, but like medium size, and then you can just add some small strands to detail out the hair some more, which are going to be even thinner, and just a few of them in there. So we can make this thinner just a little bit like that. We can remove these because we can add them later. I want to get the shape in first. Okay. Personally, I'm not like a big fan of these types of hair, just because I like realism. But if you want to make like a quick character with like semi or stylized hair, this is a great technique to use. You could, I mean, if you want to put in the time, you can make them like really small and make it like super dense with like hundreds or thousands of curves, but that would probably be overkill, because then you can also just use particle hair, which is gonna serve the same purpose, but just easier and better. The only annoying thing is that you have to move around so much just to position the curve. Because if it looks good from one perspective, it still can look like it's flying right here. So you have to look from every perspective, which can be quite tedious sometimes. Okay. Keep in mind to keep these smaller strands over the big ones, because we want to add structure. If you just put them inside the other ones, it's not gonna add anything. I was debating whether I should do a sculpting beginner tutorial, but I think that's gonna be too technical and complex. You could maybe do like an apple or like a still life. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, maybe. Problem is, most beginners probably don't have a graphical tablet, like a graphics tablet. So that'll probably be the breaking point for that idea. Okay, now we're just gonna add some more of these smaller strands. We could maybe make them just a little bit bigger, because there's like the mid layer. Just a little bit more like this. Maybe like a third or the quarter of the size of the big curves or strands. Okay. I think I'm gonna just put one of these in here to make it easier. Remove all these. And have one like up here so I can just copy this one over and over again. Like there, maybe. Okay. So I want to highlight or follow the structure of the first layer, but just gonna add some more randomness and structure. Today I think it's the day of me saying structure instead of thickness. Every day is a new day for a new word. Okay. Like that. So this hair, for example, still follows the main flow, but it just deviates just a little bit. If you look at the real hair, you can see that it's like still clumps up quite a bit. So you don't only see like every single hair going into different directions. You might see that in like unkept hair, but if you look at, for example, some Instagram models or something, you can always determine or like draw in even the groups of hair and how they lie or how they move to the ground. Okay. Always keep in mind to make them, like to put the roots under the skin, so it looks like it's actually like growing out of the skull and not just lying on there. Okay. Give this one a different, like, let's see, we could put this one over the other one and still keep the main flow going. So they're not like, they don't have the same, they follow the same direction but are not the exact same. We could maybe even put this one to the side and let it like fall down here so they split up. Make these nice curls in the water. Just pressing E and then Shift Z to move them on the X and Y plane. One more. And now to make it more interesting, we can make these change the size and also push a few of them down underwater. And if you can stay above water, and you can see. Nice. Yeah, this one's too far from the head. Push that back in. Maybe rotate it a little bit. Okay. Of course, you can always just go in here, duplicate that, and put this one, for example, in here. And like put it under the other one, so it's still above the first layer, but it's like intersecting with the other one of the same layer. Okay. The last layer's mostly gonna be like free flying strands, which are gonna add some more volume, which is probably not as needed in this picture, just because it's like wet, so everything is like quite close to the skin. But I think adding a few, especially like in the front, where you have like shorter hair strands, can be quite good. Can add some more character. and interesting features. Okay. Make this one curl as well. Maybe a bigger curl. More like this. Oh. Okay. Of course, this water will be like semi-transparent, so you can still see the hair underwater. That's why I still modeled it under the plane, so it looks actually good if you look at it from above water. And I may even try to like put an underwater effect in there. So if you actually go underwater with the camera, you have this like underwater view. Which is like grainy and a little bit darker. Maybe even a certain color. I think I've never done that before, so it'll be an interesting experiment if that actually works. There's probably a way to do it, but I've never tried it myself. I have an idea how it might work. We could also just rotate it the other way around, so we have the concave side as the top side, like that. Maybe, yeah. Push it to this side. I want to have one more in here. There's this gap that I want to fill. Okay. Oh, this rotation looks pretty cool. We could maybe leave that in. Okay. Got one more in between these two. You can just subdivide and get another one. Put that to where you want it to be, especially closer. Okay. I don't think it's like super bad to actually like make these curves intersect. I think that adds just a little bit more of that hair feel to it. Okay. Make this one smaller already. Give it some more uniqueness. You leave every strand like the same, it's gonna look uninteresting and unnatural. So changing different parameters is always helpful. Okay. I think this side is pretty good. I think I'm gonna add a few more, or 1 or 2 more on this, on the side of her face, and then we can go over to the other side. This layer I'm not gonna put symmetry on, because this is more used for breaking up the symmetry of the first layer. So adding symmetry would be like not really useful. This one can like hang down a little bit and then get going back in again. Let's see, put it just here somewhere first, and then like hang down. Maybe make it bigger. Put this actually into like below the skin. Rotate that back so it can lay on the big hair strand. Okay. Never tried this technique before, so it's a nice change. And I always wanted to try it before, so now that I can actually use it for this model, it's so far it's pretty good. Pretty easy, pretty intuitive, and pretty effective. I've never used it before just because it's not my style, but I think if you use it like properly, you can make cool images. Even though it not really looks like realistic necessarily. Okay, pull a few of these vertices down just to make it more more unique. Okay, looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna add one more. Maybe we could pull that in closer. That's quite a far away. Okay, that looks way better. Looked like it was like lying in midair. Okay, that's better. One more. I'm probably going to use the same technique for the eyelids, maybe. Maybe not. I'll see. It would probably be the best just because it then fits the same style. If I now would like use like real looking hair for her eyelids, it would probably look kind of weird. Okay. Let's see, how do you want to position that? We could maybe even make this deviate from the main flow, or no, I'm gonna do that with the last layer. So we can keep that and let that follow the same direction. And then we can break up the symmetry even more, or the flow, with the last layer. Go in here, make a big curve. Like that. Okay. Pull that down. Like that. We could maybe even make this a little bit wider. Okay. Pull this in a bit. Okay. That looks better. I think I'm gonna do one more on the left side, then I'm gonna go to the mid part and then transition to the right side. This one can be quite heavy, droop down a bit. Should still be like quite close to the first layer or the other hair tubes or curves. Okay. That looks pretty good. Maybe make this even put this even lower, like that, and now it can like hug this strand. Give it a nice hug, and then go over here and fall down here, right there. Gonna put that in the water right away. Put some more actually inside the or underwater, give it some more volume. So there aren't just a few strands down here. Like that. Okay. That looks good. I think that's pretty good for the left side, so we'll move over to the other side. We could maybe add one more right behind the ear. Keep in mind there's still hair behind the ear, so we'll add that. Just one more, so we don't have these big strands in there. Of course, you don't have to start your curves from the hairline. You can also just put them in the middle of the hair, so they come out between the other ones. Okay. Put that down here. Give it some twist. Twist it up. And let that fall down. Maybe even give it some more. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Okay, maybe even put that down. Underwater. Some more volume in there. Okay. Yep. Now onto the mid part. Right there maybe. A little bit lower. Don't make all the hairs make the hairline quite random, so it's not as like uniform, which will make it look more natural and realistic. Put that to the side up here. I want to fill in some more of this mid part, not rotate it, keep it there. We can put in this S curve like that, put it pretty close to the other hair. Okay. Add a few more vertices to add some more length. Put that down there, maybe even in the middle, because I want to keep it in the middle. Okay, keep that S shape in there. Pull that down. Okay. Gonna hit the water, and it's gonna float on the surface. Like that. We could maybe even put that above water. Like that. Maybe that's not as realistic, but well, so be it. Oh, that's actually pretty long. We can pull that in just a little bit. Okay. Let's add some more in the middle. We could actually duplicate this. Go in here, move that to the side. Maybe even twist it up and then put that over here. Fill out this gap. Some more over here. Remove all these. We can still add them if you want. We don't need them now. Put it over here. And let that follow the main hair. Big hair strand. then when it hits the water, it's gonna go underwater. Twist a little bit. Make a nice curve. Okay. Okay. First half is almost done. Let's add one more. We could maybe even remove these vertices and start from the middle somewhere, and then go from there. Okay, remove these ones. And move these vertices to the side. We don't want to have them in the same spot as they were before. We want to actually add some more. Keep them close to the first layer, because it's like wet here and everything is pretty close together. And now let it fall down into the water. Maybe even twist it to the other side, give it some more character. Like that. Scale it down. Maybe even move it underwater to give this underwater hair some more volume. What I mean with volume is just adding more hair underwater to make it look like there's just a lot of it. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the other side. Oh, let's put that lower like that. That's better. Okay, onto the other side. Let's duplicate that. Can we maybe just scale that on the x-axis -1 so we have the mirrored version? Twist that and that's it. Okay. If I add some more vertices down here, it's going to affect the first vertices as well. So if we add them first, we can better determine their position. Put this one in the water as well, add some more volume. Okay. See, now this one is pretty high up. That's why I have to pull them down. Okay, that's better. We need one more, maybe even two more in there. because there isn't really that much of this mid layer here. So let's put that in there. The more hair curves we put in here, the better it's gonna look. Of course, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but I think this process is gonna fill out the rest of this stream, and then next time we can focus on the colors, the eye, not eyebrows, eyelids, and the general environment. Because I want to add some more stuff into the scene. Not only her, but maybe some petals on the water or some nice flowers. Just to add some more detail and interesting stuff in there. Maybe even a tiny frog, but I don't think so, because that would look more like a swamp water, which isn't really what I'm going for. More like an oasis in the woods. Okay. Add maybe one more in the middle, and then we can go over to the right side. I mean, we're technically already on the right side, so just in the mid part of the right side. Remove these ones because they're not necessary right now. Put them in the general direction first. Add the last vertices second, and then we can shape it how we want it to be. Let's see, how do you want to put this? Maybe down here. There's quite big space down here, and then the side. Maybe even make like an S curve. Like that. Scale it down. And break the straight line like that. Maybe even twist it just a little bit. Okay. Now we can go over to the top side of the hair. Pull that closer to the first layer, of course, as always. Okay. Maybe we can move it a little bit to the right so it fills up more of this gap. That's pretty good. Make sure it's not like inside of the other hair. Can collide or intersect just a little bit, but not like fully merge with it. Okay, that's good. Let's add one more between these two. This one can also like go over the other one. Give it some more of that random structure. Make it look more natural. Not all the hair strands fall just straight down in unison. So we have to keep that in mind. Okay. Let's pull this closer just a little bit. Pull this more to the right. Okay, that looks good. Onto the right side. As I said before, I'm not gonna mirror the left side because I want to break up the symmetry. Best way is just by doing both sides individually. And I'm also gonna break the symmetry of the face at some point if I'm really sure that I'm not gonna change like basic parts. So I'm gonna do that last. Just changing the symmetry on a character can really give her even more unique features and make her, or the character, unique. But you have to keep in mind that at first, especially when you're sculpting, keep symmetry on, which will just double your productivity or speed, because you just only have to do one side. But then in the end you can break up the symmetry and maybe like pull the nose to one side more than the other, which is not gonna look weird, because if you don't do it like too much, just gonna add just a little bit more uniqueness and character. Okay. Maybe fill out this space some more. This is quite empty right now. And as you can see, if we would... Oh wait, we have the whole list of curves right there. We can sort them later. Then I can show you what these individual 3 layers add to the whole shape of the hair. How they work with each other. Okay. I'm quite like I'm in the process of cutting my first beginner tutorial right now, and I'm kind of like torn between not uploading it and just uploading the second one and just uploading it. But I think, I mean, I will upload it just because I want to actually start putting videos on my YouTube channel, and then also just like it's also like a nice exercise of cutting videos. I've done it before a lot, but it's just always, repetition is always nice. You can't cut too many videos. You can always learn something new. today I learned that you can actually change the Bezier curves of any like speed values or speed value change, like value changes, the speed of those you can change in Premiere Pro as well. I haven't really seen this function before. It was probably in there for a long time, but I've just never seen it. I've always used After Effects for like these types of things. That's why I started the first cut of the first tutorial in After Effects, but I quickly realized that that's not a good idea, because After Effects adds another layer where every footage you add to the scene, which means you at the end have like a scene with like 120 layers, and because they have their own layers basically, you have to scroll through all of them to get a certain one. If you just want to change like one thing, you have to actually look for it first. And in Premiere Pro you can put multiple videos, for example, into the same layer, which makes it way easier. Actually, I think the first video I'm gonna upload today. Maybe even publish. Just gonna be a quick speed sculpt or speed art, however you want to call it. Just a 1-minute video showing off the quick sketch from yesterday, because I like the design. Today's design is also quite interesting, but it's not like as there isn't really much to show for today's quick sketch, just because I've only used like 2 models, and I mostly worked on the camera and post-production, which is maybe even an interesting video, just because you can see how much you can do with just 2, like duplicating the same asset and working with 2 assets and making like quite a cool image, and just changing stuff in the materials and the camera settings can do quite a lot to make objects or images interesting, especially if you work with depth of field. That's one thing if you really want to spice up your images, add some depth of field, even if it's quite like just a small blur, it can really add to your scene. Also, if you do that, if you make these especially like an arc viz or something, if you make these macro shots, putting the what is it, the focal length really high and making the depth of field really shallow really adds to that miniature effect of really zooming in and photographing the details. That's, I think, one thing that my shots missed in my ArcViz. The only architectural project I ever did was depth of field, and also just post-production in general. I've only recently started actually going deeper into post-production, just because I've never looked into it before, and then I saw a video of lip normals that just showed the usual post-processing process and what you can actually like how powerful it actually is. I would now never like render an image like the final version without making post-production first, or going into the compositor and adding stuff like the glare filter or the, what is it, the lens distortion filter, one of my 2 favorite filters. They just add so much to an image. And they can even add to the realism. Let's pull this one more to the middle. As if she like pulled it back. Let's turn that. You can turn curves by pressing Ctrl T. I could maybe even make a beginner tutorial with curves, but curves are quite a interesting topic. Because if you use the Bezier curves with their arms, where you can rotate them and scale them and all that, I think that's quite weird for beginners. You have the same curve system in Photoshop, and I remember struggling with them for like an hour before I like really understood how they worked. So maybe a beginner tutorial with these curves are not a good idea. The ones I use right now are quite intuitive, I think. So they could work, but I don't really know what you could do with them. Maybe some like hair, obviously, but hair is quite complex. I'm always just trying to make like simple projects that are easy to make in like in 45 to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't know if there's anything you can like really make. Maybe a snake. That would be possible, and you could even then combine that with the sculpting tool to add the head. But then again, you would probably have to have a graphical tablet to really make that work. Okay, let's add one more. Put that down here. And then we can go to the last layer, which are not going to be as many curves, so that'll be quicker. This one probably took the longest because we made the most curves and also had to put them into more interesting positions. Okay, let's put that just down on these big hairs. Maybe even make it like so it's making this small curve right there. And now it moves back forward like that. Maybe even twists around. That looks kind of interesting. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's save that. Onto the last layer. We can remove these. We don't need them anymore. And now, actually we can keep one of them. Okay, this one. Let's make it pretty straight. Okay, that should work. Let's change the bevel again. One last time. Make them maybe even round. Which means I'll just remove that and add a curve. A circle. Easy peasy. Change that object to this one, and there you have it. A small little strand. We could maybe move them closer to the anchor point or pivot point. Okay. Now let's add some detail. Okay. Wait, how many do we need for a Bezier curve? 3 are enough. Okay. So let's put that on the forehead. Somewhere. I think this is a good spot. And now let it just fall down. Still close to the ear and face. Like that. Make it even smaller. Okay. Just adding a few of these to get some more interesting shapes in here. Maybe one that goes like from here over this one. Like this. And this one can be quite rebellious. It doesn't have to follow the flow. It can be quite free. Maybe move it behind this here. And then let it appear on the bottom again. Like that. Scale it up maybe. Doesn't have to be this thin. Okay. Like that. Put that down there. As you can see, these small ears can add so much to the overall hair structure. So we can just add a few more. That should be enough. This one could even like curl back to the front. Like that. Okay. Okay. This one can be really droopy. Just let it fall down. Give it some weight. Always keeping in mind that hair actually is affected by gravity, so it's just not floating in air, in midair, except when it's like really just a few strands that are like so small that they have like no weight to them. Okay, just one more added. Maybe we can put some more. I mean, we can also always add some more. I think I'm gonna add some bigger ones to the whole over the whole head of hair, but I'm gonna do these small ones first. Maybe add 2 more to this side, and then add the bigger ones. Okay. Hair was never my favorite, but gotta get through and then it'll be better. Hair is always like just this tedious task of making it work, making it look good. It's never really like a fun thing to do, just because you just have to add and add and add. And at some point you're hopefully satisfied with what you have. Okay, maybe one more right there. Okay, remove these ones, get closer, and then go in here, maybe between these two. And they just end it right there. Okay. Let's add some more bigger ones over the whole head. Just a few, not too many. First of all, because I'm getting tired of putting all these down, and then I think that should be enough. I don't want to spend too much time on this hair. We still have quite a few things to do to finish this. Hopefully we can finish it tomorrow, maybe not even. We can probably finish the model tomorrow. So if I finish my video and like I finish editing my video and maybe even finish my alerts, I'll do like a stream if I want of finishing this character on Friday, that is. Tomorrow is definitely gonna be another stream. Okay, that's the first one. Adding one more in the middle. Let's remove these ones just so we don't have to move all of them. We could maybe even give this like an S curve by subdividing this. Maybe one more time. We're missing a vertex right there. Okay. I think these small hairs can really add to the whole feel of the hair. Okay, move them there. And also just giving these hairs down here some more volume. Make it look more dense. Okay. Put this lower, closer to the hair that's already there. Okay. There's quite a spot right here where nothing is. So let's put one more strand here. Like that. Okay, let's do like 2 more on the left side and then 3 more on the right, and that should be enough. Let's put it right there. Let this one lay on the other ones. Up here. Hug them. Like that. And then let it fall down here. Not intersect too much. And that's a nice slope to go down. And into... Actually, it can stay up here and then it can go into the water. Maybe it can even stay above water. Like that. Oh. Okay, let's make this thinner. And that should be good. Okay, one more on the left side, and then 3 more on the right side, and that's it. I remember seeing a person, I think on Twitter, showing how they're working on their pores for their character. And they like literally put in every single pore one by one. That would be that's so tedious. I would never do that. It would take so long. Like, they just have a brush that puts a single pore in. And imagine that over the whole character. And that not only one pore, because you have to change up different types, so it looks actually like real skin. So you're not only doing it once, but multiple times. That just sounds so annoying. But if you're like kind of person to do that, then well, more power to you. I could never do that. I usually have like a broader brush. I never went like into so much detail that every pore has to be like perfect. So I just grabbed a pretty broad pores, like pore brush, and used that. And it was, I mean, doesn't look bad. So if you're not going for like hyper realism and macro shots, then using these broader brushes is definitely, in my opinion, the way to go. Okay, that looks good. Now onto the other side. That's why I don't like um working on hair, because can be so tedious as well. If you really want to spend time on it, you can just add so much detail to them, which will probably even make it look better, but like it's just like the more time you put in at some point, the less you get out of it. And at some point it's not worth for me losing my nerves or over just a few more strands. We could maybe add one like in the middle of the hair, like there. Remove these ones. We don't need those. We're gonna start right here. Remove this one as well. And then let's go from here. Maybe put this one a little bit further to the front. And now let's work this in. I think lo-fi is still the best playlist in here. I think there was one more which was pretty good, but lo-fi just has the most unique songs to play. I think maybe synthwave could be quite good as well, but I don't know if that's gonna fit into the stream. Maybe we'll try that tomorrow. If only DMCA would be a thing. I think, doesn't like DMCA run out after like 70 years or something, so you can play classical music in your YouTube videos because they don't have any copyright anymore. Isn't that a thing? I think it's time to play some Beethoven and Mozart. Okay. Let's see how we work this one in. Maybe even make it like hanging and then laying on this big strand right here. And then maybe even let it fall down right here. So it like crosses more than just this one big strand and brings in some more randomness. Like that, and then down here. Let this float on the water as well. At least partially. Like that. Maybe we can pull it up some more so it's actually like putting its weight on this strand. Like that. Okay. Oh, sorry. One more should be enough. So let's add that. Let's see, how do we... We could maybe make it like more straight. Like that, and then put it like somewhere around there. I think that's a good spot. Okay. I think the moment I realized that 3D is probably gonna be my next hobby is when I realized that this feels like a video game. It's just like it has like the same feeling to me. Expressing and like enjoying using it, and yeah. Okay, let's see how it looks in rendered mode. Put that to the side. Save it first, and then loading. So many curves. Oh. That could be a problem. We have so many curves, maybe it starts to get really slow. Yeah, I think that should be enough. We could also just add some more structure into these bigger hairs by adding that to the curve they're pulling their profile from. So that should be enough. Let's sort that out real quick. So many curves. Let's put here layer 1. It'll be hard to actually get all of them in there. Maybe I'll start from the top and then go to the bottom. So I'll start with layer 3 and then layer 2 and then layer 3. 1. Okay. Wait, there's one hair there already? Oh. Okay. Let's go. This one. There's one more. There's one more. I think that's all of them. Move them to hair layer 3. Close it so we don't see them in the list. We can color them as well. No, don't need to color them. What is this? Exclude from view layer. Nope, just hide them for now. Oh, there's one more. Okay. Now onto layer 2. Oh, there's one more. Okay. Layer 2. There's one more for layer 3. And that should be layer 1. Okay. Nice. So now let's see what every layer adds. First layer is the main shape. We remove that. No hair. Oh wait, what? There are some more. Okay, now first layer. Wait, what? Why do you only... Oh. Okay, let's try again. First layer, all of those. Determining the general shape and flow. Then second layer, breaking up that flow and giving it some more character. I mean, still keeping the flow, but giving it some more structure. And then layer 3, breaking up that flow and general structure and adding some more details. And that's it. Let's save that. Let's look at it again, just to see. Maybe we can change the color already. Takes quite a while to load. Okay, if we remove this plane, updating scene. I hope it'll be faster if we turn all these curves into a mesh or meshes. This takes quite a while. Okay, yep, that looks pretty good. Okay. Maybe we could rotate it on the x-axis just a little bit. Still looks good. And she shouldn't look too angry. Oh no, I pressed the rendered view again. We can't, oh well, we can go back, okay. Come on, don't crash on me. Okay, yeah, that should be good. Let's save that. And let's tomorrow gonna be color, or no, first we're gonna add more stuff to the scene. And we're gonna add I think we're gonna do the water first. Just get the general shape in there. Do just some small additions like flowers maybe, or something like that. And then go over to the color. When we did that, shouldn't take too long because there's not really makeup. We can go over to the materials. So maybe we can actually finish it tomorrow. So Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If you want to tune in tomorrow, you're always welcome. You can always ask questions. And yep, that's gonna be it for me. I hope, as I said, you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.